Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And my brothers and sisters, what I've got for you to start off your Friday is gun controllers are big mad about the fact that they cannot get some of their money to do their little playing in the toolbox of the CDC. We're about to walk you through how you dismantle the gun control operation step by step. Everything will be linked into the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And please send this out because these are small victories, but they are victories nonetheless. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We are distributing Freedom twice daily, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. And the content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. I'm going to say a quick word and then we're going to hit this. The content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. And brothers and sisters, with everything popping off around the world, wars cracking off, we've got inflation issues, we've got stock market volatility, we have cash concerns, we have oil concerns. It's a good time to take a look and at least know your options with American Hartford Gold. They are dedicated to offering gold, silver, platinum, coins, and bars for your investing needs. Whether you want to do it delivered to your door or you want an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, TSP, they've got options. This is something you guys should check out. At American Hartford Gold, they aim to educate clients about investments in the precious metal industry, strive to provide unparalleled customer service built on trust, integrity, and absolute transparency, while holding a goal of achieving 100% customer satisfaction. Click the link in the description or call 844-727-3199. That's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. Again, that's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. All right, my brothers and sisters, we have got to get into this because as I mentioned in the introduction, it is beautiful when they get big mad. So here's what actually happened, what they're upset about, and then I'm going to show you why they're upset about it, because the why is where the payoff is. Check this out, because their little empire is grumbling. This is from Giffords.org. House Republicans just voted to prohibit the CDC from studying gun deaths and gun injuries. The gun lobby and its political pawns oppose even researching gun violence because they know the facts don't support their guns everywhere agenda. Okay, well, that was a bit extreme and a little bit angry. If only there were written laws and amendments on the books to existing laws that prevented the CDC from being political activists. Yeah, because there is, but they didn't mention that. No. All they said was they can't have their money for their sandbox to get all the CDC plush funding that they want to make the studies that they want to prove their points, which they still can't do even though they try. So as we get into this, and this is one of my pet peeves when they do this kind of stuff, which is why I'm kind of like relishing in this for a second. Let me show you some backstory. This is from 2019 because this is important to understand as we go into this. House Dems renew push for funding gun violence research at CDC. That's in 2019. That's interesting. Okay, so they've been doing this for a while. Let me show you what they got out of this, because under the Biden administration, they got money in the budgets to do this, and they can't have it anymore. But check this out. Democrats have pushed to repeal the amendment in past years, but were blocked by Republicans who argue that it didn't actually ban federal agencies from researching gun violence, just from advocating for gun control. We're going to hit that amendment in a second. As a compromise, Congress included a statement in a spending bill last year that says the CDC can study gun violence, but didn't include any direct funding for such research. And then the Biden administration came in and allocated money for that research. But that's the backstory here. There's existing law that prevents them from doing this. That's why they can't do this, because it's against the law, which is why they really have a hard time when they try to repeal these amendments, as I just mentioned. Now, this is something else. A little bit later in the year, I think it was either 2019 or early 2020, can new gun violence research find a path around the political stalemate? Again, this is all focusing on the CDC. Listen to this little nugget from the New York Times. This study by Dr. Naik Mathura and others are being paid for by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which is once again funding research into gun violence after a nearly 25-year hiatus imposed by Congress. And while they might not reduce the number of massacres, mass shootings account for an extremely small percentage of the roughly 40,000 Americans who die each year from gun violence. So it won't have any effect on the mass shootings because they're such a small proportion of the violence? Well, that seems kind of weird. if they were such a small thing, why are we only talking about those things to take the rights from other people? Why aren't we addressing the elephants in the room? Because the elephants in the room are the main problem. We can't talk about that because of political correctness. It would be inconvenient to say where the actual problem is. It's much easier to blame an inanimate object, and therefore you get fundraising and reelected for your campaign ambitions. Let's just call it what it is. But anyway, here's the actual amendment. So you guys know that Congress, that Giffords is so pissed about, and they're big mad in their feels. This is the amendment they're actually following. 1996 Dickey Amendment. Enactment of the 1996 Dickey Amendment, which prevented the CDC from using its funding to, quote, advocate or promote gun control, largely shut down research into gun violence in the United States because it was being used to propagate gun control through all of these studies. And at the exact same time, the same CDC also took down defensive stat use because it didn't follow their narrative and support the Gun Violence Archive's wishes and desires when they were misleading everybody, and that CDC statement was disproving them completely. Don't worry, we've got the copies of it. But it was 40,000 to 200,000 use or 2 million uses of defense a year. They deleted it completely. Again, same CDC that's not getting the funding because they can't be political activists. Are you seeing the lines? Let's continue. I got two more things for you. This is from December 20th, 2022. The CDC isn't following science, it's manipulating it for gun control. That was from NSSF, and here's a statement from that. Researchers at the CDC deleted a reference to a self-defense gun use study after gun control groups complained that including the data would prevent them from pressuring Congress to pass more gun control laws. It was the result of months of political arm twisting by three different gun control groups: Gun Violence Archive, GVpedia, and Newtown Action Alliance. Those are the most far extreme versions of the gun control lobby. They aren't the mainline middle road. These guys are the far left. Now, why do I show you all these things? And I'll go back to the Giffords org post. These guys are pissed because they can't, or Congress is no longer being allowed to violate the Dickey Amendment and the existing laws under Speaker Mike Johnson, who just basically brought it to the floor in the budget. Republicans said, no, that ain't happening, and they lose all their candy. That's what just happened. That's why they're big mad, and that's why we're winning step by step every single day. This is how you eat an elephant, bite at a time. And everything will be linked in the description box below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.